I really want to sing the rest of the iCarly theme now. Just
Hello!
the.
We are back. And uh I've spent money on microphones. New microphones.
Yes.
So hopefully the production
They.
value goes up. Hopefully.
If
One
if
can
they
only
sound
hope.
awful, if they sound awful, it's okay. We're all in like a testing process here. It's
Exactly.
okay.
Exactly. I could just spend more money. I can always just spend more money. Audrey wouldn't like it.
No, that's not what
No,
I meant.
no, but I'm
That's
going
not
to
what I meant.
no.
That's not what I no, Mike.
Even if you don't
That's
like
not what
it,
I meant.
even
But
if you
that's not
don't
what I
like it,
meant.
that's just
That's
how the economy works, okay?
I hate you. Stop interrupting me.
even if
That
even
was
if
mean.
that's
That was rude. You're being mean right now.
that's just how the economy works.
And
So
that's
anyways,
just how the cookie crumbles.
precisely. It's episode 2, and we don't know what the topic is. So we're just going to speak until we can decide what that is. You know, I kind of wanted to start it to think about music because I like music, and I just decided, you know what? I'm going to listen to a bunch of random albums last night. And do you know how I listen to new music? You know how I find new music?
No, I do not.
I just I look at like Spotify or Tidal, and then I look at whatever album cover looks the coolest, and then I click on it. That's just how I do it. Doesn't matter if it sounds good, but as long as it looks cool, I'll listen to it. That's just the best way to find new music, because it at least shows they're good at one thing artistically. So chances are their music might sound okay.
Whenever I find a new song I like, it's not how you find new music. I find new music by listening to popular topics, and then sometimes new songs will just be playing and I'll be like, oh, what's that? But because my dad, every time I'm in the car with my dad or my mom, I always know like the songs that are being played on the radio. And my dad asked me one time, like, how do you do it? How do you like memorize these songs so quick? I don't think I've ever heard you, like, I don't think I've ever seen you know this song or anything. And I'm just like, well, what I do is I go on Spotify and on my either my Xbox or my iPad or a computer of some sort, and then I play that song alone on repeat until it's ingrained into my very skull, so that way I'm able to recite the words perfectly every single time.
Wow.
You'd think I'd get tired of it, but I don't actually, and that's what's scary about that process.
I usually don't listen to popular music. I usually just listen to the same songs like constantly until I randomly decide I'm tired of it, and then I'm like, okay, I'll go find some new music. And then I do. And then everything's good.
What have your phases of music been like over your like years of living?
Well, I used to listen to it used to be whatever my parents listened to, and that was mostly rap and Christian music. And then I kind of grew out of Christian music, and it was mostly just rap. And then I grew back into Christian music, and it was that and rap again. And then I grew out of it again. So, and then for rap, it used to just be like mostly slow, like kind of lyric based rap, and now it's just like expanded into the whole genre. And I mostly listen to anything now, anything that isn't country.
Oh, I see.
I think we've talked about this before, that you actually like country, and you take offense to my non-liking of it.
Okay, it's not that. I think people should give country a chance, because like there's actually some big like good bangers. Like like I'm not advocating for all country music. Of course, there's gonna be like the like some country music is just gonna be like those types of like tractor boys who think they know what they're talking about when they talk about country. But
Yeah.
like I grew up. The only reason is I like country is because I grew up on it. My mom grew up with it. My grandma grew up with it. So I've just been known to grow up with country music. Like I over time I branched off into more of today's hits, like pop hits type um genre. And then other things, but like country, I still will listen to country songs that I knew that I know from childhood. I think one of my favorite country artist was Taylor Swift, and I know she's like a pop artist.
Yeah.
And honestly, I get why I don't get why she gets so much hate, because she's actually a good artist, and she doesn't I don't think she does anything like that bad of any sort.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Most pop music, it's like okay. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but like some of it's okay. And country music, like I listened to some country songs I liked. I probably couldn't name them for you like I could rap or R&B or jazz or something, but I mean, it's not all bad.
I just think there's something about country,
It's like
it's
a
like
stigma
hearing
to
like
it.
yes, but like there's also something that's just like about country that makes it a good genre at the same time as a bad one. But um a lot of good songs are not even all of them are the slow type. A lot of them are not. They're like the more fast type of song speed. But like they just like give off those say something song type vibes, you know?
Yeah. Somebody said that country is just like rap but for white people, and I honestly think that's probably the most true thing you could say about country. It's like just take everything about rap but reverse it. and that's what country is. And people
I'm
have
sorry for the audio quality changing. My microphone died because it can do that.
It is fine. I'm sure people won't mind like 2 seconds of bad audio, but it's like country has like the same stigma that rap does around it, that like people just kind of don't listen to any subgenres of it, and they just listen to like one general country song, and they're like, you know what? I don't like the whole thing. I hate it all, which sucks, but it happens. That's just how life is. But
Yeah.
I mean, country's just okay to me. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's all right.
I'm not trying to say everyone should like country. It's your own opinion to like disagree with mine. Like that's completely okay. I just think that if someone hasn't like listened to country, but they automatically hate it because of the stigma that has been centered around it, that they should try and give it a listen, because like you never know. I'm not the biggest country fan. I'm not like my mom or anything, but like there are a few songs that when they come on, I will jam out to them.
That's how I feel about rap, so I understand how you feel. And
Yeah.
like I said, I've listened to some country songs that I'm a fan of. I probably could not name any to you, I'll be honest, but I do like some of it. It's not all bad.
Well, that's good.
I really, one day I would love to make my own music, but that day will probably not come soon. because
You never know.
I still have not started the journey of learning how to make music yet. So I doubt that you will hear me making music anytime soon.
But if he does, he'll let us know on Twitter.
I absolutely will. Speaking of which, Twitter. I hate Twitter. It's awful. Did you see another Dreams thing started trending this week? And as soon as I saw it, I retweeted it on our account because I was like, oh my god, I can't fucking believe that it just keeps happening. So somebody at Twitter really needs to be fired because they rigged the algorithm. I don't know what they did, but they rigged it. It doesn't make sense. Because like I think it was
Was
like,
it something that like had so little tweets it shouldn't have been trending?
yes, but also it was really stupid. It was like hashtag dream fell, and below it was like you get Ugandan kids stop kidnapping Ugandans. That's what it was. And of course, the dream thing had a little trending blurb to it, like just explaining what it was, and the Ugandan thing didn't. Because why would you need to know about that when dream? Makes sense. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
It's logic.
Yes.
Because everybody cares about dream, obviously. God, I love.
I can't be as mad as you, but I can feel your pain from here.
Like, I don't hate Dream. It's just like I don't understand why Twitter loves him so much. Not like the people on Twitter, the platform. I feel like I could look on Twitter at any moment and there would be something about Dream trending. And I am checking right now just to be sure that there isn't.
See, whenever I check whatever hashtags trending on Twitter, I never saw anything on Dream, like you do.
I guess it's
but
just
I haven't
because
been on Twitter in a bit.
I don't know what it is because I don't even look at things about Dream, and I guess trending's supposed to be like kind of curated for you, but like I never look at anything for Dream, so I don't understand. Like nobody even related to Dream. It just doesn't make sense. Like I would love to know how the Twitter algorithm works because it would make me angrier probably, and I'd love to be angry at something. But like, yeah, no, it just doesn't make sense. I'm looking at trending, and I'm happy to report there is no Dream trending right now. Twitter has gone a whole day without Dream trending. It's incredible. You know, I think maybe we'll just talk about a bunch of music and probably randomly cut to other topics because I was thinking of asking, what are your favorite artists?
My favorite artists?
Yeah.
Well, of all time, like I said earlier, it's because she's literally like my childhood. Like she like her music like kind of raised me. And that would be Taylor Swift. And say what you will about her or like whatever like stereotypes you've heard from her, I still think her music's really good, and I think she tries to do the best at what she has with her platform. On Netflix, I think it was like a year or so ago, maybe even two. She like there was a film that came out that was about her and her life, kind of, but more so like why she like disappeared off the face of the planet for a couple years, because that did indeed happen.
Yeah.
And it was because of a bunch of mental health stuff. Like, did you hear about that whole like Kanye controversy that she had with him?
No,
I
what
think
happened?
if it wasn't Kanye, it was some other artist, and that artist on like her first award night, like when she was like a more so a teenager, like I think she was 16.
Oh no, yeah, no, it is Kanye. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then later he asked her like if he can use her name in a song, and it ended up being the one that everyone was like, a lot of people were quoting because it had the lines, "I made that bitch famous,"
Yeah.
just because he like interrupted her entire speech.
Yeah, no.
Which I think is complete bullshit, and that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, no. Kanye, what a guy. His music's good, but man, he is a case full of nuts.
And then there was all that controversy about her like writing a bunch of songs about boys that she liked, and or like everyone started making stereotypes that she just got a new boyfriend like every other week. And that's another reason why she kind of left, because it was overwhelming for her. She wasn't trying to do that. And I just think that that's stupid, that just because she was writing about love songs and she dated like a couple guys, that she got all these stereotypes put on her just because she was a girl, and like that she was like, a teenager just trying to like test the waters of a relationship or two.
Yeah.
Which I think can be said for most girls nowadays.
Yeah.
Or any day, not nowadays.
only the girls
really
now.
Dumb. I just think that that's really dumb. That like they can be like, women can be labeled as a slut or like a whore or something because of like the amount of people they've dated, but like guys can do the same.
He's one of the boys. The boys.
Yeah, and they'll just be called like a player or one of the boys or something. Like they won't even be. It's so bad, and I just think that that's an awful thing that has gone around for far too long.
Yeah. Toxic masculinity.
Anyway.
It's fun.
Yeah, Taylor Swift is one of my favorite artists.
Yeah. Taylor Swift is pretty good. I like her music. That's all I have to say about it. A lot less than you. I assume it's my turn to give my favorite artist.
Yes.
For me, it would probably be Kendrick Lamar. I love Kendrick Lamar's music. He's not only does he make really good music, but like the storytelling in his music is like fantastic. I love, my favorite album is To Pimp a Butterfly, and I love how like just good he is at talking about like social commentary and black issues, like without coming off like patronizingly, and still making like good songs based off of it. It like, he won a Grammy for a reason. That's all I'll say. And I just love his music a lot. And luckily for him, but maybe not for the content, I don't really know any controversies that he's been in. He's just a good lad. I unfortunately means I can't say as much as you did about Taylor Swift, but yeah, no, he's just a great artist who says a lot of good things while still making amazing music.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of that kind of thing though, want to know what's crazy? Lil Wayne. Have you? I'm sure you know who he is, but have you ever listened to his music? Oh. Well, do you know who he is?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I think it's crazy how like he really just became a Trump supporter, and supposedly it's just so he was using him so he didn't get charged. Did you see that he had like he got charged for like possession of weapons, like a bunch of fucking guns, and then he got pardoned by Trump. And like, what the hell?
Excuse me?
Yeah, no, I think he got charged for other things, but I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Like, yeah, he got pardoned for like owning weapons and probably other shit that I'm forgetting. And I guess he's just like off the hook now. Nobody cares that he was a Trump supporter just because, uh he who knows, honestly. I don't even fucking know.
God, that makes me so mad. Like that, like people can get away with crap like that just for like who they support or something.
Yeah.
And then, cause like this isn't a great example, but this is like something that happened to me at my high school, um, last year. Um, and I'm pretty sure I've told like most of our friend group about it, but one day we went to school and there were swastikas spray painted all
Oh,
over
jeez,
campus.
I do not remember you ever telling me about
Um,
this.
yeah, no, it's what made me it made me so upset about what happened at the end of it too. But like the guy that did it, like he not only spray painted swastikas around the entire campus and on one of our oldest murals that was like in our amphitheater, but he also spray painted them on Jewish teachers' doors. It
Oh,
was a
joy.
it was a literal hate crime, and you know what he got for it?
Did he get a slap on the wrist?
No, but he did get a he. You'd think he'd get expelled, right? Because that's something worthy of expulsion. It's a literal hate crime.
Yeah, but I assume that's not what happened.
He got suspended, and then he got sent to a school that all the like quote unquote like
Bad kids.
bad children go to. Like he didn't get expelled. He just got that. That's all he got. And it made me so mad.
Yeah, that is not okay. That's actually just a fucking hate crime.
And like this, I just hate our school and our district. Like I don't hate the teachers. Obviously, the teachers are just doing their job and they're trying to do their best. Like of course, there's some teachers I didn't like, but like
Yeah.
most of my teachers that I became close with, I realized are like good people. But like the rest of the school and the district is just awful. We have we have two high schools in my town, right?
Yeah.
And I chose the one that was more new because that was the one all my friends are going to. Um, it was either between that or the older one that was literally made by like the blueprints for the building was made by someone who made prisons. So there's like there's walls all around the campus. And I was just like, I don't really want to do that, so I went to the other one.
I always
other...
do say that schools feel like prison, but man, he took that shit literally.
But another time last year, before COVID, obviously, there were these students that called in for a potential shooter, because school shootings are still like a very big problem. Not as much now because of COVID, which is kind of a relief, I guess. Like, thank you, COVID, you're stopping school shootings in America, even though they shouldn't be there in the first place.
It did one thing right, at least.
But, and so we were on the opposite side of town, but we also went into lockdown because of it. Like, yeah. we were more in like a code blue, which is like you're not supposed to leave the classrooms, but you're not necessarily in a lockdown either.
Yeah.
So we kind of had a more normal base schedule than the other school who was in full-blown lockdown. The police came to that school and they realized that the kids called it in fake. It was a fake call-in for a school shooting, and they found a knife on one of the kids. But like that's just so dumb. Why would you like put so many people at risk for no reason? Like, why would you scare people like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in the mind of a psychopathic child, thankfully. So I could not tell you an answer.
I just think stuff like that is so dumb, and I don't get why people just can't be like not assholes.
Yeah. What would even be the point of that, honestly?
I have no idea, but it happened. That's all I can say, is it happened.
Thankfully, nobody got hurt, at least. But,
yeah.
like, jeez.
Because it was fake.
I mean, yeah. I don't.
Yeah, no, my high schools, the high schools over here are just awful.
One time, a kid in my middle school did say that he was going to. I don't know if he said he was gonna shoot up the school, but I think he did threaten to, like, to me personally, and that was not, you know, a fun time. It actually wasn't just to me. It was to multiple people. So, you know, the next day was not a normal day, just to say the least. Nobody died. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that's not funny because somebody could have gotten hurt. But he was like, police came and they like took him into the office, and then, you know, magically he didn't have any weapons or anything on him, so he was just free to go. But you know, fun times.
People are just idiots. I don't understand the point of doing something like that. Like, I don't understand the point of doing a school shooting in the first place. Like, I'm not a psychopath, so I can't possibly know. But, like, I don't think it would be normal even then.
You just don't understand. You don't understand the pain.
But it's just, like, stuff like that just makes America, like, such a bad place to be. Like, it's already a terrible place to live in.
Oh, are we talking about how terrible America? Oh my god, this is my specialty.
Like, I was talking about it with one of my friends earlier. Like, have you seen the grading system compared to the UK to here?
No, what's it like?
So, from what I'm gonna send you a screenshot, but I'm also gonna explain it because we're on, you know, the thing.
Yeah.
But basically, like, if we were converting, like, our grade system, the 4.0 GPA scale, to, like, their grade system, a 65 to 69 is literally almost a full 4.0. Like, it's a 3.7.
I'm pretty sure in Canada, 60% is passing. I think that's
like C. That's so dumb. It's not dumb for them to be doing it, but it's dumb that America puts so much pressure on its, like, children who are just trying to get an education. Like,
you know,
they're
honestly,
just trying to learn things. They're not trying to, like, go above and beyond it.
Like, if you're taking, like, a grade as, like, knowing 70% of the material, that's, like, a passing grade. That's kind of a lot, honestly. Like,
what makes me even more mad is that everyone expects people to get, like, straight A's or, like, above a B plus or something. But how the grading scale is that C is an average score. So we have an F, which is a far below average, a D, which is just below average, a C, which is average, a B, which is above average, and then an A, which is a far above average. So it doesn't make any sense to me why people put so much pressure on us to get A's, when clearly average score is where it's at, because that's just passing.
You know, I always felt like school sucked, but I thought it was because of the teachers, and then I realized that ADHD was a thing. So I realized that I just felt that way, and then I realized it was also the teachers. So now I just hate school. So now everything sucks.
I think I was very fortunate in a bunch of the teachers I have. But I don't know. It just makes me so mad that that's like there's that much of a difference between our school system and someone else's school system. Because like it's just the US trying to be quote unquote different, but it's not really working because it just puts more potential harm towards youth, and like that's just an increase in stress that youth does not need.
Yeah.
And I told this to my I told this to my friend earlier, but I find it so funny how people don't think there's a hierarchy in the US
Like how
because
so?
we're a democracy. But there's definitely like not a hierarchy as in like king queen, but like more so like everyone who's middle class and below basically are just in debt for the rest of their lives and can't ever like they just have to scrape the bottom of the barrel just to get by for most of their time.
People don't think it's like that? There are people who don't know that's how it is?
Mike, we're talking about America here. Of course there's going to be people who don't think like that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
but like
there are like multiple hierarchies. Like it's crazy how terrible we are.
And it just makes it worse because millionaires and rich people, they get to live luxuriously with no doubt at all about how their like life is going to go. But we have to get like more than one singular job just to get by in life, or like pay student loan debt. Like,
and you know what's so funny about it? The fact that there are people who are like, oh well they like if a billionaire donates like $100,000 to charity, they're like they don't have to do anything at all. I don't see you donating $100,000 to charity. It's like, shut the fuck.
Duh, because I don't have money that's right in my pocket.
Like comparatively, it would be like if you and I donated $1 to charity and said, oh, that's all I can do. Like, I could definitely do more than just $1. I'm just, being a dick. But that's all. Not even $1, honestly. It's more like a cent. It's like if you and I like donated a cent to charity. It's like, yeah, we're helping, but you could do better. It's not that's not all you can do. But
another thing that's just so wrong with like us, America, not just healthcare. Healthcare's always been a problem, and we all know about healthcare. But like student loans, debt for college students. It makes me so upset that teachers get. Okay, I'm trying to become a teacher, right? And I'm already in debt because I've been taking student loans. But the salary of a teacher is the same salary as a police officer. The difference is a police officer just has to go to like the training camp and stuff.
Yeah.
While we as teachers, or we upcoming teachers, have to literally take out student loans just so that way they can do what they want. Like, I'm not saying that police officers. I'm not trying to downgrade police officers, but I think it's really dumb. I think it's really dumb that there's not a limit there's not like a requirement for police officers to get like some sort of education or something, like in psychology or something, so that way they can understand more people's emotions and they can understand their own emotions, so that way like police brutality doesn't become a thing anymore.
I think some places require a college degree, but it's not like specific anything, it's just college. But like
I think that police officers should take some like a psychology class or something that deals with human emotion, because I think that can open up future police officers' eyes and make sure that they don't go into the same habits of police brutality that everyone else, like that almost all other police officers go into. I'm not saying all police officers are like that. Of course there's the ones that aren't, but like there's just too many cases of police brutality over in America for it to be okay.
Yeah, no, them taking a psychology course, that actually isn't a bad idea. That I think that
Yeah.
probably would help a lot.
Or like, and even so, like when they're going through the police force academy that they have to go to for training, like I think that the people that are like doing the academy, like teaching it and stuff, that they should run background checks to see if the people, like if the future police officers have been through like any sort of traumatic events that would cause them to even like partially be prone to doing like any sort of police brutality, because it's not okay.
I forgot what the percentage was, but it's some ridiculous percentage of police officers are domestic abusers.
It's so dumb.
I think it's like 75% or something. It's actually fucking ridiculous.
One of my friends, and I'm not gonna name him because like I don't like him that much. I only like I used to hang out with him in high school because like we were in the same class and he was chill. But whenever I talk about anything that's like going on today, like when another major spiral of the Black Lives Matter movement, which is always still going on, like it's never stopped, but like when it skyrocketed during
I
COVID,
see where this is going.
I asked him, "Are you with the movement?" Because he is trying to become a police officer. And by the way, he's not the only one in his family who's become a police officer. Like his past relatives have also been police officers. And he's like, well, to what extent? And I was like, well, like
to the full extent.
Police brutalities are doing. Are you more with the police that like brutalize these people, or are you with the Black Lives Matter movement? Like it's a thing that should happen. And he justified their actions, their police brutality, with trauma. Of course policemen are gonna have trauma. That doesn't mean that they're justified in brutalizing all these black people just for their fun or for their quote-unquote trauma. And it made me so mad that he tried doing that. Like, I just stopped talking to him entirely.
Did he like think that was a good argument? Like
I was so upset because he's not like
I only beat my wife because I feel a deep pain inside of me. And that doesn't make it okay. Even if there's a reason for it, that doesn't make it okay automatically.
I'm sorry this episode became so like politically based or like movement based, but like these things just anger me so much that people think that they can get away with things just because of their past trauma. Like, yeah, you know what else? You're gonna cause trauma for future generations because of what you're doing. That doesn't make it an okay thing. That means that they're justified to brutalize you in the future. What do you mean? Like, it'll just be a cycle. Like, that's not an okay thing.
It really is kind of crazy because I have friends, or had friends, where like it really only took like one little thing, because sometimes you will think that friends are very good friends, and it would really take only one eye-opening experience for you to be like, wow, they are just not okay. Like, Audrey, have you ever had a friend that has defended war crimes? Have you ever had that happen to you before?
I don't recall.
Yeah, it's interesting because I know somebody who did that. They were like, yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Come on. It's not that bad. And I was like, wow, I'm just baffled that I'm friends with you. And then another one of my friends, he supported Trump on the basis that the economy was good, and that's why Trump is good. And I was like, wow.
Since when has our economy been good?
First, yeah, that's what I was like, first of all, it's false. But also...
And second of all, since when has Trump, like, been a good reason to, like, what... because of the economy, what?
And second of all, I was like, just because the economy is supposedly good does not mean that Trump is all of a sudden okay. He's still not okay. And the economy isn't doing that great. Even before COVID, it was okay at best, maybe. And it wasn't even really Trump's fault. He just didn't fuck it up. But, you know, that economy though, that economy be hitting different. And also, I had a friend that said slurs. He said a slur about trans people, and that immediately made me go like, oh, okay, bye-bye. Because that's not very cool. A hot take here. Hot take here, I don't think saying slurs is cool. I don't think it's very cool. I think it's pretty lame, actually.
I want to keep on this subject, because, like, of course, Mike, I believe that you support LGBTQ plus community, and I also support LGBTQ plus community. Am I okay to assume that?
Yes, you are very okay to assume that.
Okay. Why is it so hard for people to be not homophobic? Why is it so hard to, like, it's none of people's business whether or not they like the same sex or not, or whether they like multiple different sexes, or whether or not they want to be the opposite, or it's not choose, but whether or not they find out that they're the opposite gender of what they are, or what they were born as. Like, what is so difficult in understanding stuff like that?
It's very bothersome to them because I can't even like, I wanted to make a joke, but I can't even think of a fake reason. Just imagine I said something really funny.
But, cause, like, I find it so incredibly disheartening that there are people on this earth who think it's their own fucking business to get into other people's business, and not only into other people's business, into other people's love lives. Like, okay, so what if someone's dating, like, a non-binary person? So what if some guy is dating another guy? Like, it's not like it's affecting you in any manner. Like, so why are you complaining?
Because people love to pretend like other people's lives and unnecessary things affect them. Like,
there's a... Go on.
I was gonna say, like, I think people will say that, like, it's a political thing, and that's their excuse for, like, caring about it, because they will consider sexuality and gender to be political. Because if I'm allowed to care about your political leanings, then you're allowed to care about what I'm attracted to, and what I identify as, because it's politics. And that's just really funny to me, because it's not. I'm a cis person, so I don't use pronouns like those idiots. Ugh. Oh, imagine using pronouns. Could not be me.
I think it's really dumb. And
it's extremely dumb.
Like, just use people's correct pronouns. It's not that difficult. And so what if you have to start asking nowadays, hey, do you mind if I ask you what your pronouns are? Chances are the person that you're questioning will most likely love the fact that you're asking for their pronouns in the first place.
You know what I think is really funny? Have you seen any of those posts where it's like, somebody comes out as trans, and they're like, it's like, say it's a trans woman, they'll be like, you'll never be a man. I think that's always really funny. Like, they're like, you'll always be a woman, you'll never be a man. It's just so funny to me whenever, like, conservatives get it wrong and pretend like they're being extremely transphobic, and it's like, congratulate you. What a nice guy, just confirming their thoughts. God, man, if only everybody was like them. Stupid as shit.
One, one of my friends, I met them in my freshman year, their sophomore year, and I met him when he was still transitioning and, like, you know, thinking about all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I met him when his name was Angelique. And then coming sophomore year, he became Angel. And, now, I was really bad at the time, trying to like transition into, calling Angelique Angel, or like saying he instead of she, because it was just like I can understand, because like, oh yeah, it's hard to learn that after you've known somebody being this and they were transitioning, but now they're this. Well,
Yeah, I can
not now they're
understand
this.
that.
They've always been this, but like they didn't know until like they thought about it more, type thing.
Yeah.
And I just, and like that is understandable to me. Like if you need help learning learning someone's pronouns, because you've always seen them a certain way, that is completely acceptable, and honestly, good on you for trying your hardest to, like, you know, get the pronouns right. Like, one of Marissa's friends, Bailey, I didn't know, like, that they were, like, a they until, like, Marissa started saying they, and then I was like, oh shoot, I need to start saying they now. And every now and again, I'll accidentally say she, but, like, I'm trying to keep my head on and, like, say they.
Honestly, I think it was some time ago. I did think it was weird to refer to people as they, like, just because I've always thought of it as a plural pronoun, but it's not. It can apply
it
to
makes
whatever.
sense. It honestly just makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's the only reason you think it doesn't make sense is because there's so many children's storybooks and so many things you've heard over the course of your, like, childhood. It's all just, like, built up to know that there are only two genders in the spectrum, and there's no such thing as theys. The only time they is used is whenever there's more than one, but that's not true. Like, if someone loses their headphones in your next period, but they were from the period before, you're gonna say, hey, who lost their headphones? Like, it's not
Yeah, it's really not that hard.
It's not a hard thing to do. And, like, if it is, just keep trying, because, like, it will really mean something to someone one day when you ask for their pronouns. Like, I've of course always been a female all my life. I've known that from the start. But, like, one day one of my friends asked for my pronouns, and even though I'm not transgender in the slightest, it made me feel so nice that someone was asking anyway. And, like, maybe it's not the same thing for everyone. Some people might just, you know, think back a little, and they might not want to hear that. But, like, most people, I think, would. Because it's a sign of respect and showing that you really care about who they are as a person.
Yeah. I never thought about if I was trans before I had trans friends. Like, I know I'm not, but I never even considered, like, the possibility of it before I knew trans people. So, like, it's also like it's just like an eye-opening thing, because even if you don't, like, think of yourself as trans, it still, like, helps you think of, like, you know, gender norms and stuff, and, like, how society thinks of, like, gender and how people should be. It's just an interesting thing to open your eyes about, even if you aren't trans.
I
You can
think the
be a disgusting
LGBTQ
cis
community.
person. You can be a disgusting
I
cis person and still, you know, open your eyes to that sort of thing.
I think the LGBTQ plus community is a great thing to have, and all allies, of course, they're also great people on this earth. Of course, there's gonna be the people that are like a bit more defensive or like sometimes toxic. Like it's just a thing. It's just people's personalities. But like the whole of the community, I think, is just a great thing because it's just everyone in that community, and including allies, they all respect each other for who they love instead of the transphobic, homophobic people that go around saying there's only two genders and that you can only have a heterosexual relationship.
Yeah. It, like, there's no point to it. It's really no point to it. And I know to some degree it's religion, because religion is the root of every problem in the world. That's what started everything.
Yeah.
That's a lie. I'm fine with religion. Sort of. I'm sort of lying.
I'm also fine with religion as long as the people who support said religion don't try and force it on me. I'm fine with whatever people believe in. Like it's their choice to be that religion. It's not mine. I'm not. You can't force me to be your religion.
I don't really believe in a religion, but if I do, I really hope. Oh, I believe that demons. Yeah, that's it. That's all I believe. What do you believe, Audrey?
Okay. Okay, this is a very difficult question for me because as a child I was um raised in I wasn't baptized or anything. But I always went to church um every every Sunday of course.
Yeah,
Um but like over the course of having science classes, I learned more about evolution and stuff. So I'm not entirely like devoid of believing in God, but I also still think that science is still a thing that is a possibility that is more logical in my brain than God. I will of course still like pray to God whenever I feel most I need it most. But I'm not going to say I fully believe in God because I also believe in science.
yeah. I really
And
forget
I
that,
don't think
like,
that's a bad thing.
I forget that, like, science kind of does shit on the idea of God. Like, that's not why I don't believe in him, but it really is just funny because I'm like, yeah, like, it just slips my mind that, like, God and science are, like, at war. Oh, that's
I
funny.
think that's a dumb thing too, because like that just make all scientists like technical atheists? Like that's such a broad spectrum. People shouldn't do that.
They're not atheists. They are uh enemies of the church, and they shall be executed. That's what they actually are. Don't sugarcoat it.
Sorry, this became like a whole talk on like stuff like this.
We've got I originally was planning on just doing music, and then and then we have transitioned into, yeah, fuck God.
Well, stop, man. I don't know. I have a lot of passion for some of these topics just because like the way people like try and like bounce back or um like for instance like a misogynistic homophobe like those people like they try and justify their means of not like being accepting, and I just think that that's so dumb that people just can't accept like what's already there, what's already true.
Yeah.
It's like do you know Plato?
Yeah.
Now I had to learn a lot about this one thing Plato wrote, and it's called The Allegory of the Cave. And I had to learn it all last semester, so I'm very in tune with the story. But the story goes as like these like 4 prisoners are locked in shackles, like bound on a wall, and all they get to see in the world in their cave are these shadow puppets. And that's all they've ever known. One day, one of them is broken free by this other guy and brings him out of the cave and into this glorious, beautiful, vast world that he's never seen before in his life. And at first he doesn't believe it, that it's real or it's true, but over time he starts believing and wants to show everyone else that this world is the same, or is there.
Yeah.
And so he goes back into the cave, and he tries and tells all his friends that they should come out with him, but they don't believe him, and they stay in the cave because that's all they've ever known their whole life. While he goes on and lives this whole new life with this whole different perspective on what's like real and what's not.
I'm pretty sure I've read that story a long time ago too. Also, keeping in line in the fact that our whole podcast is a joke, I'll be honest, at first I thought you said Play-Doh is in the putty, and I was like, where is she going with this? And then I realized, I was like, oh, I'm just a dumbass, but...
I meant Play-Doh,
No, you didn't say you didn't say it unclearly. I'm just an idiot, and I was like, what does she mean, Play-Doh?
Yes, Play-Doh. There's a cave in Play-Doh, and you can like morph it into whatever you want.
I was
you
like,
know?
What is she talking about? Then I was like, oh, I'm a dumbass. I didn't want to interrupt you because I was like, you know what? she clearly didn't do anything wrong. I'm just the dumbass here. But yes.
I'm sorry that our second episode is literally like all this talk on like serious actual like problems.
The first 10 minutes were
even
just to
though
draw
we're supposed to be
in.
a joking. We're supposed to be a comedy podcast.
The first 10
people are gonna listen on the second
The
episode.
first episode and the first 10 minutes were supposed to draw people in, and now we're only politics. Everything else is gonna be politics now.
No.
It was all a facade.
No. I don't want this to be a politics podcast.
We were only joking about being comedy. See, that's where the joke really came in. You were the joke. We joked you the whole time. The viewer.
Funny. My God, I am sorry.
We were never planning
we go
on
to
being
a different
jokes.
topic?
What topics are there to discuss? We could talk about how God is a joke.
No. Okay, going back onto music, but this is more of a comedian who's also does music. I'm sure you've heard of him before. Bo Burnham?
No, I haven't.
Really?
Or maybe I have, but I just don't know. Because sometimes I've listened to somebody and I just didn't know their name.
Okay, so I'm gonna list off a few of his things you can find on Netflix because I've rewatched them many times. He's really funny because he's basically he's a comedian, but all of his comedy acts are all music. So it's a completely musical comedy act. Like
that
he'll have
sounds
some
very
speeches,
unique.
It's so unique, and I found it at first, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing!" It's so good. It's really good. Here, hold on.
All right. One of my favorite
so
comedians.
he has.
Oh, okay. I was only saying that so I could fill the gap between whatever you were doing because I was hoping it wouldn't be too long. But my favorite comedians probably like either Eric Andre or Dave Chappelle. Eric Andre is just pure fucking chaos, and I think it is hilarious. And Eric Andre, not Dave Chappelle, I meant, is like uh, part political, part comedy, and it's just he makes politics funny, much funnier than we could probably ever make it. But anyways,
so
continue.
But yeah, one of my favorite comedians is definitely Bo Burnham. And the only two that are on Netflix currently, is his What show, which is the older of the two, and then his other one, which is Make Happy. And you can find both of those on Netflix if you just search up Bo Burnham. B-O is that's the first name, like Bo, and then just Burnham, but put together in one word. I also really like John Mulaney's stuff. I haven't watched all of John Mulaney's stuff, surprisingly. I know quite a few from videos, but I still have yet to watch all of the ones that are on Netflix. But he is also a very funny comedian.
I don't know about Birmingham, but I'll watch him later so I can understand how good he is.
Wow, you're so funny. You're so funny.
Oh, thank you, I try.
What's his name? Hold on, I have to... Oh, Gabriel Iglesias. Do you know who Gabriel Iglesias is, right?
No, who's that?
His name's, so his nickname is Fluffy. He's a comedian.
I've never heard of him, but I am intrigued.
Really? He's a Mexican comedian, and he's really funny. And he has two specials on Netflix that are actually Netflix original specials.
All right. Wait, so what's his name?
Gabriel Iglesias, or quote unquote Fluffy.
The last name sounds like it would be a bitch to spell.
Iglesias. 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 It's spelled exactly how it sounds.
All right. But you were mentioning comedian artist, and I thought you were gonna. Have you ever heard Zach Fox? That's what I thought you were gonna say. Cause man,
no,
he is quite the guy.
I don't think I've ever heard of that. I know very little on the comedy side of entertainment.
He's a rapper. I don't know if he's a rapper or a comedian or both, but his songs are very funny, and there's something, that's for sure. And I fucking love him. He is hilarious. Just he is kind of like Eric Andre in the sense that he is just pure fucking chaos, and it's incredible. Yeah, no, I don't really know any comedian song artist other than him. That seems like a very interesting niche, though.
Yeah. I recommend more Bo Burnham than I do Gabriel Iglesias, just because I don't know how what your type of comedy is.
The funny kind.
Bo Burnham literally has a song about killing yourself, so I think you'd find it really funny.
I find that extremely relatable and funny.
He makes a lot of relatable content that is funny. He also has a song that makes fun of country music, so I think you'd really like him.
Alright, now this sounds like a blast.
You know Kevin James, right?
Yeah, I do.
He also has a comedy special on Netflix.
There are a lot of comedy specials on Netflix.
Oh yeah, no, there's a ton.
You know,
I'm looking at Netflix right now and I'm just realizing I have a lot of cartoons that people like or that Netflix recommends to me.
speaking of Netflix comedy specials, you know what I really hate about Netflix comedy specials? The fact that I think Netflix might, no offense, I'm really not trying to sound sexist here, but I think Netflix has something against women, because all of the Netflix comedy specials made by, like, I swear to God.
They're all
I'm
men.
not,
They're all men. Every single one of them.
no, I'm not trying to be sexist, but I swear, they just choose the unfunniest people to make comedy specials out of when it comes to women. I don't know why. Like, I know that's gonna sound extremely awful, but I swear I'm not sexist. I love women. They're very sexy. But
Oh my.
yeah, no, I don't know what is wrong with Netflix has some very bizarre choices on, you know, specials sometimes, and like originals. Sometimes they have some very fantastic things, and sometimes it is just awful, like extremely awful.
Yeah. Oh my god, they added the Haunted Hathaways onto Netflix?
Bro, they also added iCarly.
I know, I saw that. I got really excited. Ow! My cat just asked for attention in a bad way.
I mostly noticed that because this one YouTuber that I watch, he just like out of nowhere just started watching the whole iCarly series and is making videos on it, and I didn't know why. And the fact that it's on Netflix makes a lot of sense, because I didn't figure that he was just randomly thinking, I'm gonna watch iCarly and make videos. Well, I guess that does happen, but that makes more sense that that's why he decided to do it. Because, I mean, iCarly's good, but think about it 10 years after it aired and randomly decide to make a whole hour plus video about it. I don't know about that. I don't think I could talk about iCarly for an hour. Maybe I'd have to watch it.
No.
But even then, let's just have a whole podcast episode of us talking about iCarly. We could do that one day.
I'd have to rewatch it all. There's like so many episodes I've forgotten over the years, but it was such a big part of my childhood.
We could rewatch it together.
We should.
Is it only 2 seasons? I swear it's more than 2 seasons. It's only 2 seasons on Netflix, but I didn't think it was only 2 seasons.
It says new seasons or new episodes, so I'm guessing they're slowly coming out with it.
Yeah, no, there's 6 seasons. That's what I was gonna
20...
say. I was like, there's no fucking way there's only 2 seasons.
There's 40 in season 2 and there's 25 in season 1.
Yeah, no, it's 6 seasons and 100 episodes nearly. Christ. Okay, I don't know. I feel like now that we teased it, one day we might just have a iCarly episode where we only talk about that. That would honestly be kind of hilarious.
We might, and that would be funny. And that's our whole point, to be funny.
The comedy part. We're putting the comedy back in comedy because we just made it everything political.
Yes.
You know what? Fuck politics. I hate politics now. This is now an iCarly podcast.
Have you seen Netflix's Carmen Sandiego?
No, but I would love to, because I added it to my list 2 years ago and then I never watched it, and I feel like
2 years ago?
No, I swear it's been longer, honestly.
Wait, you wait. Hold on. I'm looking it up. Because that sounds so far away. No. No. Oh my god.
Oh my god, it was.
Mike, I've been watching that since season 1. I'm only in season 3 right now. Oh my, no, that's a joke. There's no way. There's no way.
Start date January 18th, 2019. It's actually been 2 years since I added it.
Mike, I've been. Mike, it doesn't feel like it's been 2 years. Mike, it doesn't feel like it's been 2 years.
Oh, trust me, I definitely did not think it's been 2 years.
Oh my god, no! Dude, I'm only on season 3.
That is actually hilarious because I like added it and I was like, oh wow, this show looks really interesting. I'm definitely gonna watch it, and then I never did. Oh
well,
my
I literally haven't even started season 3. So I need to do that. There's only 5 episodes in season 3, and then there's 8 in season 4, which is the newest season.
That means I could probably catch up to you then. At least now I have a reason to watch it. I honestly, when I said 2 years ago, I didn't realize it's actually almost like it was like almost exactly 2 years ago.
Oh my god.
And that is hilarious.
You know what else is a good show? Where is it? Where did it go?
Very great show is I have a lot of shows on Netflix that I could
Oh,
probably
Mike,
recommend.
I want you to watch this with me because I've already seen it multiple times, but I really want you to see it so that way you can make fun of it with me.
What show?
It's Netflix remade Saint Seiya, Knights of the Zodiac. Saint Seiya is like an old, like almost like Voltron old, like esque thing, but it's so bad, and that's what makes it so funny.
Oh,
Like,
that sounds like a joy.
No, you have no idea. So episode 1 and 2 are literally the most confusing out of every part of it, and I've watched both seasons, by the way. And I don't think they're ever gonna come out with a season 3 because I'm pretty sure it just did that badly. But the plot is literally, it's not everywhere, but
it
like,
came out recently too. Okay, so we can definitely watch it. And if it is funny enough, we could make a episode just dedicated to making fun of it.
Please, I would love to make fun of it on here. It's so bad. I recommend it to anyone who like wants to like
Laugh at something.
bring out their inner cinema sins. Like anyone who wants to bring out their inner cinema sins, please watch Knights of the Zodiac Saint Seiya. It is so bad, and it is so funny that it's bad.
I would
there
love
it is.
to watch it.
The Hollow. That was the one I was talking about. The Hollow is really good. And I've only seen season 1, but they recently came out with the 2nd season.
Oh hey, would you look at that? I actually put that in my playlist before, like, cause I uninstalled what's his face, on Netflix. I uninstalled Netflix from my phone. I did put Carmen Sandiego in my like to watch list, like when it came out, but I reinstalled it and I put that in my list. And I still haven't watched it, and I probably never will. Well, okay, now I will because you did tell me to. But if you didn't, I probably never would have.
I watch a lot of cartoons, and it really shows on my trending and my popular, because your the whatever's popular on Netflix or trending on Netflix is also dependent on what you've watched or what you have in your playlist.
Yeah.
And I've realized that over time, and so like because everything's like.
I watch a lot of animated stuff too.
Yeah. God, I completely forgot about that film. bad film.
What film?
It's Netflix. It's not bad, but it's Netflix original, extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile. It's the movie about Ted Bundy, where Zac Efron is Ted Bundy. Fun fact, I watched that with my cousin, but I was really tired the first like few minutes of it or so, like first 10-20 minutes of it. So I woke up in like kind of the middle, but not quite the middle. So I didn't know it was based on a true story until the end.
I remember that was like, I think people got mad at it because they were like, "Oh, Ted Bundy is so sexy. Why is he so sexy? Ha ha."
But the problem with that is that was actually true at the time, because everyone, all the like real interviewed women said that they found Ted Bundy really cute and that they didn't think he was guilty.
Don't be a murderer. You're so sexy.
God, no.
It's really
yeah.
It's so fucked because whenever you think of like a serial killer, you always think of them to look like the worst human being possible, but it's like most of them look pretty normal. It's just,
it's the same thing. Yeah.
It's the insides that are fucked up.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. It's the same thing with sexual assault or sexual harassment. Like you never think that it'll be someone that close to you, but in reality, a big proportion of sexual assault like goes on with people that the victim knows.
Like, they really. You just always expect a criminal to look like the worst person imaginable. Like, you probably, like, for a criminal, you probably think of, like, the worst image in your head, and then you're like, oh, yeah.
Like, criminal. One of those, like, bald guys with all the tattoos on him.
And
like,
maybe missing teeth.
Or, like, some of those gold teeth.
Yeah, no, like, you don't expect them to look pretty. Pretty damn ugly.
And that's what makes stuff like that so scary, because it is a big problem that, like, people will think the worst, but in reality, it's probably, like, someone really near them or close to them.
Like, you'll let your guard down just because somebody looks pretty.
Yeah, or, like, because you know that someone.
Yeah.
Anyway, that got really deep and serious.
I think that is a great point to end everything. Moral of the story is that watch out for sexy people, because they could murder you.
Moral of the story, from my perspective, is not to be so not to have so many trust issues to where you don't trust anyone close to you, but just make sure you know who you hang around and make sure you're in a safe position, because things like that are viable to happen.
I think that's a good lesson, but I think personally mine is better. But I do think your lesson is also
yours is
very
definitely
good.
better. Yours is definitely better. No, if we were to put them both in a poll or something, yours would win.
But anyways, yes, the lesson of this podcast is, what did we talk about? America sucks. Serial killers are sexy. God
Music
is dead.
For everyone. God is dead.
Country
Science
music
rules,
isn't that bad.
Women get blamed for too much.
And they're also unfunny.
The homophobic people just suck in general. That's an already known fact. Do not think that this was a moral.
Yeah, no, that one was already set before we said anything. But yes, that is also
Please
true.
use people's pronouns correctly.
Yes. And that's it. Good. Weird.
And comedy skits are everywhere, and they're sexist on Netflix.
Exactly. This is now an educational podcast. Let's just
Yes.
clap it up for us, because we're just good educators. Anyway.
We did so good.
We did very good at educating everybody here. I hope everybody is now a few IQ points smarter.
I hope that everyone enjoyed our podcast tonight, or today, I guess. And I hope that you guys will listen to the next episode. Next episode is gonna be what, Valentine's themed?
Yes.
I think. So, be prepared for a Valentine's Day themed podcast.
Indeed. Anyways, outro.
Outro.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.